Hey guys, how are you? So today's book is the Ramayana. The Illustrated Ramayana, the timeless epic of duty, love, and redemption. So specifically this book, because you can get the Hindu Ramayana is part of the Hindu mythology, the theology. But specifically this book is published by Penguin Random House. And it also says there are two publishers of the book, because specifically I bought this book because of the illustrations of the stories. You can see the front. It's absolutely amazing. And yeah, so because of the illustrations I bought this. You can, but if you just want to read about the story, the Ramayana, you can get numerous translations, because the original was written in Sanskrit, and that is a dying language now. But yeah, you can get translations, but if you want illustrations, cool art, you can get this one. I will also put this the link in the description below. Yeah, see this? So this book is filled with the stories of. So introduction says the story of Rama. The Ramayana is one of the most epics composed in ancient India, along with the Mahabharata. It imbues the minds and hearts of millions of Hindus as a sacred text, a particular way of relating to the past, and as poetry shaping the community of crucial ways. The Ramayana narrates the life of Rama, the legendary warrior prince, as he walks the path that destiny has paved for him. So the story revolves around the character Rama, and I'm just going to show you that he also had these incarnations, if you say that, different avatars with different in different eras, in different time. He had different avatars. In the introduction it says the Ramayana at its simplest is about the exile of the righteous prince who performs deeds of spectacular valor. At its most exalted, it stands for the moment at which the divine in his play and grace manifests himself in the earthly realm. So Rama was a god who sort of manifested himself in the earthly realm, on earth, in our world, as per the Hindu theology. And a complex spiritual imagery is part of this understanding. So it says historians generally do not regard the Ramayana as an epic composed by a single author at a particular point in time, but instead propose a process whereby it came to be recorded in the form that we have now. The dates that they propose are usually much later than the traditional view. Historians often consider that the earliest parts were composed around the 5th or 6th century, and some take the revisions up to an approximation of our present versions to as late as 1st to 3rd century. In one part of the introduction, where it shows all the avatars of Rama, which I think was Vishnu. So it says the term avatara literally means descent and is perhaps most commonly used to refer to the forms of Vishnu. So Vishnu is a god. The preserver of the universe took. In the early narrations of Vishnu's avatars, the causes are cosmic. Gods find themselves troubled or there is great calamity, and Vishnu takes on various forms. The lists sometimes vary, and the incarnations are not always numbered at 10. So as it says that the incarnations of Vishnu are more than 10, and Rama was part of his incarnations. Let me show you the incarnations, the illustrations. So these are all his incarnations, you know. So Rama was part of the incarnation of Vishnu, and Krishna was also part of that, and Buddha is also part of the incarnations of Vishnu. Yeah. So how they categorize it is that in the first incarnation of was the fish, the great Manu, son of the sun, found a fish that possessed a horn. It warned him of an impending flood, urging him to tie a boat with the seeds of creation to its horn. In this incarnation, as it mentioned, the boat, I don't know if it's the same boat that you can literally find in every tradition, in every religion, is that about the Great Flood. You know, the Great Flood is mentioned in almost every tradition and every religion. You know, because and there you can say it's a conspiracy or something like that. I mean, you can, if you look up to the internet, you can find that people, the scientists, have also found proofs and evidence that yes, there was a great flood. I don't know how authentic that would be, but if it exists in literally every religion, it did happen. I mean, I believe that we as a human cannot make out of, we cannot create from zero, okay? We need to have a skeleton to build upon, We as a creation cannot make something from like whatever's before Adam, And basically what I'm trying to say is that we cannot make something out of nothing. Okay, there has to be something in the past or something like a skeleton or something that we can build upon, So that is what I think, that if the story of the flood exists in all of the traditions, in all of the religions, and their like art regarding it, and in the traditions and cultures and temples and all of that, it did happen. So you see, it starts with literally the origin of Rama, which was the incarnation of Vishnu. And you can see the illustrations also. The book is filled with these Indian illustrations, The events of affect the birth of Rama were now set in motion as the king prepared to welcome his sons, the gods, readied an army waiting for the moment Rama would wage a war against Ravana. So he was also a warrior. Look at this, another illustration. Crazy, right? I mean, the Hindu theology also makes me think of the Greek and Norse mythology. Like, these are all gods, and obviously they're not authentic, but they also give a resemblance. Like all these gods, like Zeus and all of these Norse mythology, Indian mythology, in my opinion, they give a resemblance. Now, one must say that maybe because Hinduism is also a really, really old religion, so one can also make an argument that, it existed. Now, with the passage of time, with the passage of language, the names changed, the attributes somehow changed. But that's a debate, that's a story for another video. We're talking about this book today, and this event, the Ramayana. So, see this? The illustrations are crazy, man. Protecting Siddharthrama. So if you're into theology, like not just Hinduism, because I want to make, and I am trying to make different videos on different theological books and different religions. And if you're trying to get into Hinduism and reading about it, you can get this book. It also keeps you... This book is not boring because some people like pictures, illustrations, like me. So I like to look at those also. It fascinates me also. See this? And like it's a whole the event that was Ramayana, the story of Rama. This book covers it all, and with these really really beautiful illustrations, the culture and tradition. So literally this book like covers all the events in the life of Rama, like in his expedition for truth, like for the sake of truth. And then comes a mother's despair, whatever his relations were with his family and the people surrounding him. Everything is narrowed down in this book with illustrations, but also actual footage of the temples of Rama, Vishnu, you know. I mean, it's crazy how, the traditions, the culture, the art especially. I dig the art though, because as I read, I get a little bit boring because I just get boring, man, sometimes. Yeah, so I like looking at illustrations and all of that. I like books with that. I mean, I can read books without illustrations and pictures, but yeah. I mean, this miniature paintings, like the detail that these paintings have, it's magnificent, like this is also a miniature painting. The brothers unite, like every part of his life is narrowed down, every part of the event. It also mentions Vishnu and Rama's interaction with other gods and other demons and monsters. It mentions his fight with Ravana, the monster, the Rakshas with, I think, 10 heads, 10 minds. So, and then he meets Hanuman. Look at the illustration. So, it also mentions his interaction with different gods, and how on a daily life how he performed, what was his moral rules, and how like his daily life and basically the event that surrounded that Ramayana. See, the level of detail in the art is wow, I mean, look at this. Like literally, this book contains the art in different mediums. For a second there was miniature painting, then there was sculptures, and then now I think it's stroke work. See this? Like in different mediums, they have illustrated the whole story, the event of Ramayana. See this? And also performance arts. If you look at the Hinduism performances, they're actually great. Like their costumes and their dialogue delivery, like how they introduce their culture, their tradition, and all those theatrics they perform is actually great, So this bridge, if I'm not wrong, it's in Sri Lanka. So it says the Rama's Bridge. It says this. So this satellite image is of the Adams Bridge, which is located off the coast of Rameswaram Island in the Tamil Nadu. It is made of limestone shoals and extends to Sri Lanka. Traditionally, it is believed that this is Rama's bridge. Okay, so let's see. So basically, it was the crossing. The mighty bowman Rama walked at the head of the army with Lakshmana by his side. Sugriva walked with him as well, stood at the shore with a club in his hand ready for battle. So they were crossing to take part in a battle. The rest of the army went as it willed. Some walked along the sides of the bridge. Some rushed down the center. Others leaped into the waters or up into the sky. They crossed the ocean quickly and reached the far shore, which was abundant in fruits and water, and set up camp following Sugriva's instructions. The gods, heavenly sages, and divine singers marveled at the immense and the unprecedented task that Rama had accomplished. They were delighted to see the lotus-eyed of the Raghus with large arms seated and surrounded by the army of the Vanaras. So yeah, this bridge is basically the crossing of Rama and his people. Yeah, so basically Rama went to Sri Lanka, where I'm guessing the war took place. Look at how they dress, like the details in their costumes, their props, their sets. And look at the size of their theaters. See this? The whole statue burning. And how big it is. Wow, look at this. Magnificent. Crazy. Yeah. So after the war and all of that, it says order is restored and peace was accomplished by Rama. Yeah, if you guys are into Hinduism theology, get yourself this book. And I think there's another book which is the Mahabharata with the same publishers and all of that. I will also get that, and I will also make a video on that for you guys, and so that you guys can get an understanding if you want to buy the book or not, you know, for the illustration or for the story, whatever. So until next time, guys, have a good day.